Hello, Paula.
Hi. Hiya.
Hello. So, welcome to Healthy Habits. Well, Habits for Health and Success, I should say. Healthy
Yeah.
Habits is my other group that just rolls off my tongue.
Yeah.
And this is a new podcast that we're going to do, interviewing different people about their habits that help them for their own health, success, and
Right.
anything else that sort of comes
Yeah.
up.
Well, thanks, and thanks
Do
for
you
the
want to?
opportunity.
You're all right. Do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about you and what you do.
Yes, I'm Paula Madden. I live in Liverpool. I'm an empowerment and wellbeing coach and mentor, supporting hardworking women who feel like they've lost themselves and burnt out with stress. And that's my background. That's what happened to me. I burnt out as a teacher.
Ah, right. So you
Yeah.
come from a teaching background. Tell
Yes.
me a bit about that. What was your teaching and
I was teaching in it was an infant school. I know that's quite unusual because
yeah.
it was like a four-form entry, so it was very big. So it wasn't primary; it was just nursery to year two, and I was teaching in year one. I was a year ahead.
Ah,
I
right.
was in
Yeah.
charge of because it was a Catholic school. I was also in charge of RE and all spiritual development and you know well-being and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
feel like there's an irony there, isn't there, when you talk about well-being and then you yourself
no, I know.
burnt out.
Physician, heal thyself.
So what happened? Did it just come along gradually for you? Did you just feel that
Yeah,
gradual
it came along gradually, but I think it was part of my, well, it was part of my personality, and it also comes from childhood stuff. I've always wanted to achieve, feeling like unless you're achieving, you're not really good enough.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
always, I just pushed and pushed and pushed through illnesses, and I'd go back to work when I wasn't well, and I'd be, and I was always stressed. I always felt my heart was pounding out of my chest because I was rushing around that much, trying to do so much that in the end, my body just said, I've had enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And that became your habit then, didn't it? Of just that pushing and pushing
yeah,
and
yeah, because I didn't really. Sometimes when I went to bed at night, my heart would still be pounding out of my chest, and I wouldn't realise it through the evening until I actually got to bed that I was still so stressed from the day. And then I'd be getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and rushing back to school with my breakfast. I wouldn't eat it at home. I'd
yeah.
eat it while I was working in school. Just by the time the day started, I felt like I'd already done a day's work before the
Gosh.
children even came in.
Yeah. And did you notice that? Did you realize what that was, or did you just think
I
that was
did, I
part
did
of you?
notice because I felt like I was being grated on the inside. And I was already, well, I think I was aware already. I'd already done different programs to try and help myself, and I was actually seeing a counsellor at the time because I just knew things weren't right, but I couldn't let go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just couldn't let go of even the responsibility. I thought about letting go of the responsibilities, and just going back to classroom teaching and not having the extra management responsibilities, but there was just a part of me that couldn't let go of it. And I think it was to do with self-esteem.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
took self-esteem from it, it was like a bit of prestige,
Yeah.
being a manager and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So there was all that as well.
So what habits would you say you now look back on that was maybe negative habits for you at the time? What would you say those were when you're
Well, it
looking
was
back?
like having breakfast at home,
Yeah.
rushing to work, and then sometimes I'd work through lunch as well, which I think wasn't helpful.
Yeah.
And just the speed at which I moved, probably internally as well.
Yeah.
And I did was constantly thinking about the next thing. I wasn't really present in the moment.
And you didn't have a break within your day. There weren't no like,
Sometimes no. Sometimes I would, but it'd just be like half an hour. But I try and go at break time, actually. I did used to go for like a 15-minute break at playtime and stuff, but it was always constant. It's your head. My body went, but my head didn't. My head
yeah.
was still on a spinning wheel, thinking of all the things I had to do.
Yeah. It's the habit is something that we constantly do, positive, negative, bad or good, whatever you want to name it, healthy,
Yeah,
unhealthy. And yours was then that you was constantly thinking about the job. If you, even when you was breaking, you want mentally breaking.
No,
It was,
I wasn't. I was still thinking about what needed to be done or what needed to be done in the afternoon.
yeah,
That sort of stuff. And even when I got home, I wasn't really unwinding. I was just
yeah,
constantly in work mode, and it was just overwhelming, really.
yeah, that feeling.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
constant rushing.
And how many years did you do that for?
Nearly 20. I mean, it got worse. It wasn't like that at the beginning.
No.
Even though at the beginning I probably worked harder than other people appeared to. I'd be
Yeah,
there last when everyone else had gone home, but obviously it takes a toll as the years go by
yeah. You can
on your
feel it
body.
more.
Yeah, yeah, on your mental processing.
And what happened when you actually like had the holidays? Because people always say, "Oh, teachers have loads of holidays, don't they?" Eh, Did you just find that you wasn't enjoying those holidays?
No, I did enjoy the holidays. I did enjoy them, except when I finally finished work, it was January 2013. And those holidays leading up to then, I didn't really enjoy it. And remember still thinking I was so tired.
Mm,
I didn't feel restored when I went back, like after half term or after Christmas. I didn't
yeah,
feel like I'd got back to very, because normally during the holidays you can restore a little bit and spend a bit of time on yourself, but I hadn't felt like I did.
yeah, yeah. Gosh, so what sort of habits did you start to pull into your daily life to try and, change this swerve? How did you end up leaving? Did you put anything in place before you left to know that that was the
Well, no,
goal?
because I said I was seeing a counsellor and she said, I think you need some time off work, maybe a couple of weeks off. So I had a very good GP and
Mm,
I went to see her and she said it was post-viral fatigue and nervous exhaustion. So she signed me off for 2 weeks. I said, I think I might need a bit longer than that. She said, I'll make an appointment for you to come back in 2 weeks. And I never went back.
oh, did you just
I just got
leave?
sicker and sicker, where I
Oh,
ended up that I couldn't even wash my own hair. And I was diagnosed with MA and chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia because I'd stopped producing cortisol. I had tests done later on. I mean, that when you hear people say they're burnt out, I was literally burnt out because I wasn't
mm,
producing it anymore. So in the mornings, you start producing it about 4 o'clock in the morning, ready to wake up.
yeah,
But I wasn't. So, but when my alarm went off, it was like trying to get a dead body out of bed, and I just couldn't go on basically.
yeah, yeah.
So it
People
just,
describe that, don't they? That dead feeling of when you get up, it's still like you're trying to awake yourself,
yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, before I actually finished work, I'd be trying to run. I thought I just need to run in the morning and I'll feel better. I thought if I run, I'll get my body going, and I just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, yeah,
I thought I can do something, I'll be okay, but I just couldn't.
yeah.
I think I took on a lot of work that I didn't need to.
And in what way did that come about? Just more work at school and things,
Yeah,
or
doing planning and things, getting in early and doing planning for like a whole group of teachers instead of saying, let's share it out. We could do it. You do it 1 week, I'll do it the next week. I did it all the time.
yeah, you had that habit of being that person of
Yeah,
taking the workload on
yeah,
and not saying no, saying yes, I will,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Just
yeah.
saying yes all the time and not really thinking about my own needs. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So it just literally, because people think that it doesn't happen in that sense, but it really does, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, definitely.
It
Yeah.
affects the mind and the body,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
physical
The body will tell you when it's had enough. Definitely.
is when you were listening to it, at what point that you
Yes,
listen
it's
to it.
listening and learning to listen, and that's what I've done.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
healed. I've learned to listen
Yeah.
to my body.
Yeah. So what did you put in place? What was the small steps that, because going from that to getting yourself back on into some sort of track and moving and things like that, what did you do? Because it's a big jump into it when you're feeling
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because I did something called a GUPTA program, which is specifically designed for people with chronic health issues.
Mhm.
And I learned about the fight or flight response and the amygdala and how the amygdala can become turned on all the time into fight or flight, and that's what had happened to me.
Yeah.
Because I discovered about like that you've got different parts to your personality, and one of the parts that was playing out for me was the achiever and the safety seeker, because I didn't really feel safe. It was coming from like an inner child thing that
Yeah.
if I worked really hard, I'd be okay and I wouldn't lose my job. And I mean, I ended up with no job anyway.
Yeah.
Because I thought about going part-time. I mean, I'd asked to go part-time, but it was too late. You know, it was too long. So when I started to do the Gupta program, I started to meditate every morning and to just interrupt the negative thoughts when they came up.
How did you find in starting to meditate then? Because I know myself that it's a hard thing at first, isn't it? Because those voices are still, and you think that if you still hear and, you know, if you still can't concentrate or you can't switch off, well, you can't do it. And that's another thing you can't do when, you know, I'm just a busy person, and a busy person can't meditate because I can't switch off. And that was in my thought thing. And I've learned to, with a habit of doing it more. Did you find there was anything that you did, and you know how the journey it took you?
Well, I had meditated before. As I said, I was kind of on a path, but it wasn't big enough to take over the negative things I was doing. So I did have experience of meditation, and I was desperate. So I just kept trying and trying, and within a couple of weeks I started to feel calmer. And it just it still took a time to get back to, it probably took about 2 years from 2013. No, sorry, it was 2015 when I started to do the Gupta program. Before that, nothing was changing. Because I was still scanning my body constantly to see if I had aches or pains, which was just re-triggering the amygdala, you know, into the fight or flight response. So once I stopped doing that and started to interrupt my negative thinking patterns, meditate, and I'd meditate and then I'd just have a break at 10 o'clock and more relaxation, just lots and lots of relaxation at first, just to calm my nervous system down. That was the main thing I needed to do. I realised that my nervous system was on high alert.
And that was the habit then that you started to pick up. You daily
daily meditation and doing like in the Gupta program, it's called like an hour of power, where you interrupt negative thoughts, and then I'd think about something from the past where I'd been really healthy, and I'd really embody that, and then I'd visualize the day with those emotions and those feelings, and do like affirmation saying I'm really strong, my body's healthy, I've got strong healthy legs, I can walk, I can, you know, I'm okay cooking the tea and all that sort of stuff.
Because it is the small things, isn't it? It's not, it can be just those small things of saying those positive things. Be able to move freely.
Because it's kind of like reprogramming your brain. It's a software issue, I think. And it's like those neural pathways, just changing them to go in a different direction, away from fear. Go into something more positive.
And it's actually scientifically proven that is, you know.
Scientifically proven, definitely.
There's lots and lots of information about how we can change those neuropaths that have been, you know, dug out for us over time. And we've got to find a different map, haven't we? We've got to find a different way. And it's hard, isn't it? But it's those little habits that you've
keep repeating the same thing over and over again until it becomes like a new groove in your brain.
And you started to see that difference then over time.
I started to see the difference, started to be able to go for little walks, you know, and I had a tree that I used to go by and hug it, a little tree, and I'd watch it change because it got lovely red berries on it in the autumn. And I gave it a hug the other day, actually, because I hadn't hugged it for a while, but that was like watching that tree grow and, you know, just being present. When I went for a walk, I'd say hello to people and stuff like that. Especially, I think in the daytime, people are a bit more friendly because they're probably not at work rushing around. So they're more likely to say hello back. And just making connections. So I felt more connected emotionally to people and stuff like that.
And what type of connections? How did you go about that? What did you do?
But with that, it was mainly just saying hello to someone in the morning, when I was walking, because we got a little dog. Well, he's passed away now, but we had him then. And I'd just say morning to people when I saw them,
Yeah,
and that sort of thing. And that just helped me to lift my spirits.
yeah. Because when we're rushing, we're not in that zone, are we?
No, it's like you've got blinkers on and all you can see is the work you've got to do or the tasks you've given yourself for that day. And
Yeah,
it's like take your time to smell the roses, isn't it, when people say stuff like that?
yeah, yeah.
Important.
Because even I know people say, "Oh, well, I walk the dog every day," but I often say, "But do you walk it mindfully? Are you noticing what's about, or is it another task on your list that you've got to do? And this has got to be, and I'm going to run around this block with this dog because that's another one, and I've ticked that off." And it's that frantic feeling of
definitely
that list constant into it of, and you're not enjoying it. Then
no. You're not being present, are you, in the moment, and just like taking everything in, breathing, just breathing, even noticing your breath.
Yeah, yeah. There's small habits like that, isn't it, that just sort of switch the switch a little bit.
Yeah. And I think one of the other really important things was just to slow down and to do things. I used to have little post-it notes all over the house, 100% breathe and slower, just so I remember to do whatever I was doing 100% without starting to think about the next thing. And just to remember to breathe and do it 30% slower.
Yeah, yeah.
That really helped. And I still do that now.
Yeah, just take that breath and
and I just try not to rush because I think it'll still get done. What needs to get done will get done. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. And what habit changes have you noticed since that point then of the meditation and starting to feel better? What did you start to incorporate again? Because it does, you have to sort of move with it, don't you?
Yeah, well, exercise, some form. I mean, that took a while because I was frightened initially to start exercising in case I went backwards. So at first I started to do chair yoga, and stuff like that. But now I do exercise. I go to the gym to do classes, which is what I like. And I walk quite a lot as well.
Yeah.
I like to go out into nature
Yeah.
and those kinds of things.
And you made that another habit, really, of making sure you do that regularly.
Yeah, especially the exercise, because for me personally, I mean, I know it's probably like that for everyone, but it really helps with my well-being as well. Not just the physical aspect of it. It helps me mentally and emotionally to feel better.
Yeah,
I exercise, and I always feel better for a couple of days after when I've exercised,
Yeah, you mentioned that fear before. I think that's something that a lot of people feel, isn't it? The fear of, if I do exercise, I might be ill again.
Yes.
You feel it as if it's a physical thing, don't you?
Yeah. That took a while to get over. So just had to do things slowly, and just trust. When I first started going, I went on to another exercise class after that, and then when I'd come home, I'd have like an Epsom salt bath, just for my muscles and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just reminding myself to keep calm,
Yeah.
And not to try and get into the future and worrying. Just keep coming back to being calm. You're okay right now. You can do this. And I suppose for me in the past, I've been very competitive. Just think if I needed a rest, it was okay. I didn't have to keep pushing till the end.
Yeah. Where the old Paula would have done the exercise class, cooked the tea and thought about the class, then they're teaching the next day and multitask about 5,000 things at the same time. And probably even people go to exercise classes and don't even switch off in them about
I still think about what I've got to do next.
Yeah.
Oh
wow, such a powerful story, isn't it? But it's not a story, it's your life. That's what negative habits did you feel that you definitely got rid of, that but still maybe come back up a little bit?
I think probably comparing myself to other people, thinking I wasn't good enough and I needed to work harder to be a successful person.
Yeah.
And just maybe a little bit of self-pity was in that too, rather than acceptance. But when those things come up now, they don't seem to have the same emotional hold on me. I can just let them go. Or just
Yeah.
become the observer. I think one of the things I learned through all of this is to just become the observer of my thoughts and emotions. You know, just if they pop up, just take a step back and say, oh, I'm doing that again.
Yeah.
You know, just letting them float away like a cloud.
Yeah. Letting them go. Or even just think, oh, why am I doing that?
Yeah, what can I learn from it? Sort
What
of
can I
thing.
learn? And then let it
Yeah,
go.
yeah, and just recognizing if it's coming up, it's trying to tell me something as well.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, just being gentle with myself. You know,
Yeah.
not being such a hard taskmaster. I'm
Yeah.
definitely not as hard a taskmaster as I was. I'm much more gentle with myself.
These are all habits about how we think, isn't it? How we feel, not
Yes.
the actual doing. You know, you've not
Yeah.
gone, oh, well, I've
It's
all of a sudden, you know,
yeah.
stopped doing this, but I'm started doing that. It's actually how you feel, how
Yeah,
you
I think the
are.
internal work, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I try not to criticize myself as much. I think I was constantly criticizing myself before, constantly, but I don't anymore. And if it comes up, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Say like what you just said, asking yourself what's that all about, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That coming from, and celebrating the wins as well, even if they're just small. Every day you've achieved something. I mean, I could be at the end of the day saying, "Oh, I've not done anything. I can still do it now," and then I just have to take a step back and think, because I'm the type of person who will move from one thing to another. That's just my personality. So I
Yeah.
might not complete something, but it will get completed. So now it's about saying, well, I have done something. I've done those 3 things. They might not have been completed, but
Yeah.
they've been started.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's going in the right direction,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of thing.
It's our inner critic, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
our
definitely.
I was reading something. It was actually from Miranda Hart's book, which is quite a similar story. So I don't know if you've read it.
Now
It's
I've got it
quite,
on Audible to listen to, actually.
yeah, have a listen. She actually names her inner critic, um, Sandy, but she's Sergeant Major Sandy.
Oh, right, okay.
So Sandy's happy and calm, and that inner critic's okay. But then she goes into Sergeant Major, because that inner critic helps in some ways. It gets us motivated to do.
Yes.
It's not always negative.
No.
But when she's in Sergeant, she talks about it, and it's so clear as well. When she's in Sergeant Major mode, she's telling her all the time, well, you should have done that. You should have done this. You should have been doing that. You should have done this. Why haven't you done that? It's in that Sergeant Major telling off
Yes.
voice. And you can almost hear it, can't you, of
Yeah.
that, like,
Yeah.
whoa, you should have done this and you should have done that. And that should have been better. And that should have, you hadn't done this and you hadn't done that. And you should have said that to that person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, because it just pollutes all your life, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Every part of your life, and emotionally, it can make you feel absolutely awful.
Yeah. You just constantly, who needs somebody to put you down when you're doing it constantly?
Yeah.
Yourself, do you know?
Yeah.
And then couple that, people find themselves in situations where it's hard and it's difficult and, you know, things aren't going right. But then your inner critic inside is constantly battering you down as well.
Yeah, so it makes it difficult to ask for help then, I think, as well, because you don't want to look vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think for me, the thought of letting go of some of the responsibilities made me feel like a failure, to actually admit that it was too much, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
When
know,
really, because somebody might listen in and think, oh, well, I don't want to do that because people say enough or enough or things like that. When actually 9 times out of 10, you're overdoing it. You're
Yes.
over.
Yeah. Going beyond what you need to get as a human being.
Yeah.
Pushing beyond your limits, which I did, obviously, or it wouldn't have ended up ill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting path that we go down, that we're programmed a bit.
Yes.
Aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I always say, people say, oh, you're busy. So now I'm like, why do we ask that question?
Yeah.
Are you busy? Well, I'm not, but maybe I'm really happy and calm.
Yeah.
And I'm just and I'm doing enough in the day that needs to be done.
Yes. Yeah.
Busy maybe isn't a good thing, do you know?
That's very right. Oh, I'm really busy and I'm racing around here and racing around there, and it's all that kind of it just gets into your head, doesn't it?
Yeah, that habit of like of when I'm not busy, oh, I'm not being productive. I'm not being productive.
Yeah.
So it's that Sandy the Sergeant Major again going, oh, you're not doing this.
Yeah.
So what habits do you think you continue now that really work for you, Paula, that keep you
Well,
in that
I try to meditate still in the
Yeah.
mornings. I meditate. I know it's mad. I love watching quizzes. I just chill out, so I try to watch the chase.
Yeah.
Really enjoy it, and I love to read as well and just put myself into a different world. I like all dystopian literature.
Yeah.
Because I'm always interested in people's minds and how they react to different situations. And I like to get out into nature to do. I know if you're very ill, just looking at nature can help your brain. You actually think you're there. But I meditate in the mornings and I try to do affirmations and just try to have a positive mindset and practice gratitude. Because I do truly believe it starts to switch things in your life. Just by changing your mindset a little bit. So they're very important. And exercise. I exercise 2 to 3 times a week and always go for walks if not.
Yeah.
Just very simple things. I think even taking time out just to sometimes in the afternoon I'll just stop for 10 minutes and do a short meditation. I think it doesn't have to be big.
No.
It doesn't have to be massive. It can just be self-care, just bringing in self-care. The habits I find that start to make you feel as if you're important because you're looking after yourself and you're valuing yourself. So they're the main things I do.
Yeah. And imagining that busy person now listening to this going, because the first thing like you would have done back when you was going on this journey was, oh, well, I can't leave my job, I can't leave my job. I'm in this situation. I can't leave my job. So I ain't got time. So then therefore I can't do any of that. What would your advice be to sort of incorporate habits into their life?
I think it'd be to start with self-care because I feel if you start with some self-care, then it's easier to say no. Because as you start to value yourself as a person, even if it's just 10 minutes at first, or even 2 minutes, because I know if you said to someone who's the way I was, you've got to take 10 minutes in the morning. I can't do that. I haven't got time. So even if it's just 2 minutes of breathing in the mornings, just to try and get you nice and calm, ready for the day.
Yeah. And just start off small, isn't it? Like
just start off small and start to build on it.
Yeah. And that other thing is the voice, isn't it?
Yes, just interrupting the voice, listening, just recognising that the voice isn't telling the truth. And it probably was a protector at one point. Because I have what I call the stickler.
Yeah.
I did a test and I came out as the stickler, always wanting to keep to the rules. So the stickler can be in the background saying you shouldn't be doing that. Or if I don't know what the rules are, just do everything.
Yeah.
And then you'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I've just been aware that those habits have been they've protected you at one point, but you don't need them anymore. They're outdated.
Yeah. They're not serving you anymore.
No, they're not helping at all.
Because that was one of my questions, wasn't it, when I give you the bit of briefing. What habits are not serving you now? Do you know, like and that's one of them, isn't it? It's like
and that thing where I can still say to myself at the end of the day, you haven't done anything. And I've done loads, but it's just that I haven't done one big project.
Yeah. And it might have not even got done that day anyway.
No, and it's just not how I work. It's accepting yourself as you are as well.
Yeah.
Learning about yourself and how you function and celebrating that, because we all work in different ways. I'm a person who jumps from one thing to another. I try to be a little bit more disciplined about it because I know it can become quite scatty, but the awareness has helped me.
Yeah. Not to be hard on yourself. That's what you...
just to say, okay, I'm getting a bit scatty. Let's get focused.
Yeah. Sandy's come back out and she said, come on, keep to task.
Yeah.
So you said you read, exercise, watch TV. These are all on a regular basis, aren't they? They become part of you. How do you feel if you don't do one of these things?
I think it's okay maybe for a day or two, but I start to notice it. If I don't do it for a while, I'll start to feel myself getting more stressed and frustrated with life in general.
Yeah. And what do you do to pull yourself back in? What makes you realise that?
I just try to stop,
Mm.
and just say, you need to stop at a certain time today and just chill out, and it's okay to,
Yeah.
just remind myself that everything does always get done that needs to get done,
Yeah.
and it's okay to just stop without feeling guilty, because I often
Yeah.
felt guilty in the past if I wasn't doing something.
That's it. It's that guilt, isn't it? That
Yeah.
guilt sits there. And it never maybe goes, it's just, it comes up, pops up, and then you go, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's it. Brilliant. On my list of things I asked you, do you have any funny habits?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the other things I absolutely love, my husband, I get up before him, he's retired now. So I make a cup of tea and then after I've done my morning ritual of meditation and stuff, and then I take it up and I sing. He's like that in bed, completely unconscious. And I sing, good morning, you slept the whole night through. A cup of tea for him, he's like, oh, morning.
And you religiously do that every day?
Well, if it's providing I'm up earlier than him, some
Yeah.
mornings I'm like, oh, I've got to stay in bed a bit longer today, and that's okay as well.
Yeah. Does
And
he
then
sing it
brings
back
me
to
the
you?
tea. He doesn't sing now. No, and I like to play tricks on him as well.
Oh dear.
Yeah, just once I lay under the bed. We haven't got this bed anymore, but I lay under it for ages because we love The Walking Dead. And
Yeah.
he was in the bath, and I was lying up to the bed until he came out and I grabbed his leg and went,
Oh, I love it. I'd have been under there in the fits of giggles, waiting for it to.
and it was hard not to. And I had to try and keep my hand cold by pressing it on the floor all the time. Yeah.
It's a bit of a.
It's like just having fun and remembering that you still got a little child inside you who wants to have a laugh.
Yeah. And
Yes.
embracing it, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's quite childlike, so I'm quite lucky that he brings that out in me because I know I can be very serious.
Yeah. And do you think that serious person was the teacher?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think I was probably quite a serious child, really,
Yeah.
growing up and stuff. So it's good to finally be a little bit free.
Yeah. I was gonna say like break free into
Yeah, just have a laugh and stuff.
Yeah.
Fun. I think fun's so important and laughing. And sometimes if I'm feeling a bit low, I'll just put something like Friends on.
Yeah. Just
it makes me laugh, and it's just, I think it's remembering that when you are feeling a bit like down or stressed, just it does take a little bit of discipline as well, just to do something that would listen to a song even, some uplifting music, and I'll do that. I'll put something on my headphones and go for a walk or whatever, and it just lifts me up. Just those simple little habits that are they don't cost anything, and they're just so easy for anyone to try.
Yeah, it is. Well, one of my a client of mine, I said sometimes when we're in that spiral, we find it really hard to remember those habits that do lift us.
Yeah.
So when you've got a moment where you're feeling not in the spiral, write yourself a list of all the things that do lift you. Put it somewhere that's easy to see, and then when you are feeling it, rather than thinking, "Oh God, what do I need to do to get out of this?" You can look at your list and go, "Right, that's the first thing I'll do. I don't have to think about it's there." Happy me told me this list, so I'm gonna.
Yes. Good idea.
Yeah, just sort of like, because you forget, don't you? Because when you're in that downward,
it's hard, isn't it, to step out of it sometimes. When you do, you're like, why didn't I do that half an hour ago?
Yeah. Or sometimes you can go days and days, and then someone goes, "Have you been out for a walk recently?" And you'll go, "No, I haven't." No, do you know? And I'll do that. And if you haven't got that person there all the time, you've got that list of this is what I do with that.
Absolutely. Good idea.
Yeah, do you know? Make a happy list. Brilliant. I loved hearing your story, Paula. Give us opportunity to sort of share it. What would your top 5 habits be for somebody feeling as you did to take them steps? What would you top things to sort of say to try and do?
I think the first thing would just be to try and slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Just slow down a little bit if you can. And just maybe try to have just 3 things on your to-do list. You know, and as long as you get those 3 things done, it's okay. And I know it can be really hard, but start to say no to the things that don't, you know, your body will tell you if something's not right for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And try to get out in nature every day if you can, even if you just stand outside and breathe.
Yeah.
You know, just spend some time outside and maybe try to introduce a little bit of exercise.
Yeah.
Even if it's just in your own home, stretching in the morning and some meditation. Definitely.
Yeah.
Just even if it's some breathing technique or grounding.
Yeah. Just sitting and breathing is and you can listen to so many different recordings and music now, can't you?
Yeah, and there's so much on YouTube as well, isn't there? You know, meditations and stuff.
Yeah.
I think if you find a meditation hard, that the guided ones are a good start.
Yeah, definitely. Just focusing on the voice, and don't always think that if you listen to one and it doesn't work for you, that could just be the voice.
Yeah.
Try another one. Do you know, or the words that they use? Try another one. And 5 minutes is okay. 2 minutes is okay. Isn't it?
Yeah. And even if sometimes even now when I meditate and it's over, I think I've just been thinking all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking, and that's normal because your brains are always different each day. So don't beat yourself up if one day you can't concentrate.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay.
Yeah. No, definitely. So tell me about what you've got going on at the moment, Paula. What's happening in your world now?
Well, I've just got a vision board workshop coming up in February and 2 other retreats, and I've got my magnetized program coming up, which is all about the law of attraction and just helping you. It's about feeling good about yourself so that you can bring those things into your life and truly understanding what they are. And just carrying on building my business. You know, we're hoping to get another dog in the summer.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah. We've got going on holiday because we've not been on holiday for ages. We wanted to go on holiday before we got the dog. You know, just making sure that we spend time together. Me and my husband go out for walks together, and you know, we live quite close to the beach, so we're very lucky. Just taking that time out, and that's got to be the most important part of life, I think. Spending time with the people you love and looking after yourself.
Yeah. Because what else have you?
Else matters, does it?
Yeah.
And your health.
Yeah. If you haven't got your health,
you've got nothing.
No.
That's what I realised. Without your health, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
You know. And even when our dog was coming to the end of his life, I thought I'd go and live in a field with him, no matter how much money it cost, as long as we were all together, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's all that matters, isn't it? When you actually really get down to the crux of it.
Yeah.
And it's sort of seeing it, isn't it? It takes a while to see it.
Yeah, and I think it's important to learn from your journey as well, not to beat yourself up, because I felt like a failure when I got sick. I thought, why didn't everyone else get sick? Why was it me? So no matter where you are in your life, don't feel like a failure. It's part of your journey and you can learn from it and help other people, maybe, you know, who are in the same position as you.
Yeah. And
your family.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there, does it?
No, we're all on a different path, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's important not to compare yourself to other people.
Yeah, well, that's one of the first biggest things, isn't it? Is like looking out and going, oh, what everybody else is doing, and then looking in and think, well, I'm not doing that again. That inner critic, that person going, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Paula. Thank you. And you've got your vision board, and people can follow you on Facebook and you're on Instagram as well, aren't you?
Paula Madden Coaching. It's just the same everywhere, so it's simple.
Yeah. Sometimes we need the simplicities, don't we?
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking as well when you were saying about holidays. I think we, especially in certain industries, and I was thinking about teaching, when a lot of teachers, you work to that holiday, we do it
Yeah.
as if that's the self-care bit, and we forget that just the daily practices.
Yeah, just the simple little things during the day help.
Yeah, they're not the big holiday thing that then you know, I come from a family when Dad worked so hard to get to that holiday that by the time we got to the holiday, he was exhausted. He never enjoyed the holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think like you said, it's those small
Yeah, those
things.
small daily habits that can make every day like a little holiday.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, it's just like taking a vacation from your brain for a bit,
yeah, yeah. Just
just being still.
imagine it popping out and going, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for speaking to me today.
Oh, you're welcome.
It
Thank
was
you. It's been
lovely.
lovely.
And this was the first one. We've got some more to come. So hopefully
Exciting.
people will listen in and see what other people's habits are. Because I think realistic people talking about what they've overcome
Yeah.
is as inspiring, isn't it? Because it
Oh, yes.
feels,
Yeah.
true, doesn't it?
It's real, isn't it? It's real life.
Yeah, yeah,
So many people as they're getting through their lives.
yeah. And why you do what you do now, isn't it? So what
Yeah.
you do now is sharing your experience and then other things you've learned.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, all the stuff I've had to go through, but now I can support other women, maybe to stop them getting to that point.
Yeah, yeah. Or if they are at that point.
Yeah, help supporting them to come back, and you can. Because
Yeah,
people say you can't get better from the diseases I had, but you can, because I have.
yeah. And just tell me again what those were that they gave you the labels as.
It was ME and chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia.
Yeah. And how is that treated now? Is that like, how would you describe it now?
It's completely gone.
It's gone.
I've got nothing now. I'm just completely back to normal.
Yeah. And you've not been to the doctors for a long.
Well, no, I mean, I have had cancer, but that's gone as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I used the same kinds of attitude that I did as I healed from the other illnesses. I wasn't terrified. People were saying, "Oh," but I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
Because I knew I'd be okay. Because I kept feeling positive about it and just meditating and visualizing myself well.
Yeah. Wow.
So I got through it okay.
Brilliant. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's great not to go to the doctors because I felt like I was there all the time at one point.
Yeah. And that has that negative loop as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I hated going. I hated it.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I was, oh God, I'm a burden to the doctor. She must be thinking, oh God, here she is again. You know, all that negativity and
Yeah.
self-worth again, thinking I don't deserve it and whatever.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. To break free from it all, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks.
I'm going to stop recording.